Kenton Mark.
I found out the greatest conquerors that ever lived were farmers. You know, farmers, sheep herders. Somebody that we weren't think that's important and stuff. And then as they became great through that, they gave birth to great children who were born with greatness, like Alexander the Great and stuff. Like Philip the Macedonian, that whole bloodline of Alexander, they were all kings, but they were all very small and insignificant. Until it was one Alexander before him that was pretty great and fought against the Persians, but eventually they lost, and they pretty much kissed the Persians. You know what I mean? The Persians put them in a position of power until Philip Macedonia came, who had the nickname aka Philip the Barbarian. And he wanted to go across there and enslave all the Persians and everybody after that, the world. And Alexander the Great mother, who was a really interesting woman, I'm trying to say Albanian maybe, and they had a different kind of study and worship and stuff back then. So he got caught up in that. His family didn't like her for that, but she arranged for Alexander's father, I think, to be killed, for Alexander to have the power. Then her kids had the power, and she could lead through her kids while he was on campaigns, right? And when he was on these campaigns, now that his father was gone, he just conquered everything. But when he ran into the Afghanian people, he fell in love with them. He wanted to interbreed with them. He wanted to create a new race of Afghan. He just madly fell in love with them, and that's pretty much why his family, not his family, but the Greeks went mutiny on him, because they were jealous that they were giving big positions to the Persians. No, Afghanistan. He loved them. He even quoted, "Afghanistan's the most beautiful people in the world. God must have loved them more than anybody. He made them beautiful." He really fell in love with them.
When did you start getting really into like Conquerors? When did you start
15.
Really? When you're 15?
Yeah.
What introduced you to it?
I was at the table eating with Cuss, and a friend of mine named Craig Wall said a statement which he was wrong, but it sounds really good to make me investigate. He said Alexander the Great at his time was like 6'5", so at 6'5", 300 years before Christ, that was a giant, which was wrong. He was very small. The armor was too big for him. He was a really small guy. He wasn't big at all.
And so just that alone, him saying that, got you interested in
I thought he was a monster. He was a massive guy, but then I found that he's just a small man, average guy. You know, he's not a monster at all. Not a big man at all.
But you got interested in the mindset of the Conquerors.
Yeah. Well, listen, this is what I want to know. Why would one person think that he could own the whole world? One person. Why would he have that mind? Who would think like that?
Right.
Why would that's not a person. That's just something when your egos just got so out of whack.
Yeah.
Where you just can't think rational. How do you think like that? And you're a nice person. It was a guy before him, a couple of hundred years before him, named Cyrus the Great. He was a conqueror, but he was a conqueror for liberty. He wanted to conquer all the slaves and let them go. Conquer all the slave masters, let them go. He got killed for that too, but can you imagine who the hell? Maybe that sounds cool too, right?
Yeah.
That's good, that's a good thing. But listen, think about it. Who the is he to take somebody else's property, take somebody else's stuff because he believes it's wrong, which it probably is wrong. I think it's wrong, but who the is he?
Right.
Who is this guy to take just to conquer you? You don't bother nobody, but this is what they did back then. Now you're killing everybody. Back then, it was really legal. It's almost in the Bible. It's in the books. It's not, I won't say it, but it's in books. Slavery. It's in the books. It's in the religious books that we need slaves. And he did this. And this guy's going to say, hey, no more slaves. He's 500 BC, so he's going to say no more slaves. No more slavery is wrong out through the whole world. So he wants to conquer the world and free all the slaves.
Wow.
So that's just a different mindset.
Yeah, they're different kinds of mindsets that these conquerors have.
But who he think he is? Who the hell is he? He has his little town over here. How he's gonna go over the whole world? His town is right here. Well, forget his town. His country is right here.
Yeah.
You know? And he haven't even conquered his country yet. Now he's gonna conquer the world and liberate freedom, make freedom. What kind of guy? Now that's nothing. If that's not somebody on drugs, you tell me. No, you tell me. Now be honest. If that's not somebody high, you tell me.
It could be coke.
No, that nigga, it's something. It's
Right?
something. And I'm gonna free everybody.
Right.
This is at 500 BC. This is slavery is what it is. This is the way of the world. No, I'm gonna free all the slaves.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna free everybody.
What did you get out of like reading about their mindset, like studying Temujin, studying Alexander the Great? Like, what did you get out of reading about their mindsets?
I found out that the greatest ones, the best, the most prolific ones, were all mama's boys.
Really?
Yeah, afraid of their mother.
Wow.
Napoleon, Alexander. You know what I mean?
Wow. Genghis Khan too?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Huh?
What do you think that's all about?
Highly respect their mother. I think their mothers were the first, especially Alexander the Great. I think she was the first stage mother. I think there was some before her too. You know, because Cleopatra was one. That's just what they were. At the end of the time, they were wanted to lead through their sons or their daughters or something like that.
Oh, okay. Like that parent that takes their kids to athletic events and screams and cheers and pumps them up and
no.
It's
It's the parent whose child word is law, and I want to be able to have that word.
Okay.
Do you get that?
Yeah.
My son is the king.
Right.
Of this country or a couple of countries, but I want my thought to be in his mouth, come out of his mouth.
Do you think the parents convinced the child that they were that special that they should run the world?
Some of them do, but as some kids get older, like Ivan the Great, Ivan the Terrible, they get older and then they realize these people weren't right towards me, and they start killing his sponsors or the people that were repping step-parents and stuff. You know, some of the kings did it too. You know.
So when you were studying this, when you were coming up as a boxer and you're studying all these conquerors, you were trying to understand their mindsets.
Yeah.
And you were trying to apply that to your own life?
Pretty much, yeah.
Did you get anything out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you get? Like, how did it apply to your own life?
Well, at the end of the day, they all ask God for forgiveness. All of them.
So when you're reading all these books about all these conquerors, when you're a young man and you're on your way to becoming the youngest ever heavyweight champion, and you're trying to take on the mindset of the conquerors, and you find out they all ask God for forgiveness.
Yes.
How did that affect you?
That was pretty cool, because by that, I learned greatness was the willingness to die.